What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AM, guys. So, real quick, I'm going to start with a story. I ended up having to go all the way across the other side of the town the other day, and as I was checking traffic, it made a massive difference in my travel time. Essentially, leaving from 6 o'clock in the morning to 6, or leaving at 6:15, added almost a whole other hour to my trip. And while I was sitting there going, oh, okay, cool, like I'm planning out my day and when I need to leave, it occurred to me that it only takes 15 minutes to beat the rest of the world. That was it. If I left at 6 o'clock in the morning, my travel time to get from one side of town to the other all the way through the city was 50 minutes. If I left at 6:15, it was like 2 hours to 2.5 hours because traffic got so bad. Now, think about that. 15-minute difference is what made or broke my trip that morning to where I needed to go. And it's amazing because I honestly think this is how the rest of the world works. You only got to be 15 minutes sooner. You only got to be 15 minutes better. And it's interesting because we look at how life happens and we look at how just the world works with the economy, society, even personally. And then we're like, we all of a sudden think, man, that's too hard for me to do. When in reality, it's 15 minutes. It's the difference between leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:15 in the morning. And I'm saying this because where you are at right now and where you want to go tomorrow, it's 15-minute difference. That's it. If you really want to be that much better, it's 15 minutes. It's not hard. Years and years ago, one of our business mentors, one of the things that he told us is, you've only got to be like 3 boxes better, a couple boxes better, right? You only got to be a couple boxes better than the next guy. What he meant was check boxes. You only got to be a couple check boxes better than the next guy, and you'll win. And it's really true. That's the whole point of this story, leaving at 6 or 6:15 and getting there in 50 minutes or 2 hours to 2.5, depending on how bad traffic is. And I think it's so interesting how we miss this. When Andrew and I, when we started the company, one of the things that we looked at is like, cool, we're looking at Apple, we're looking at Google, we're looking at all these massive companies, right? And where they were. And one of the things that we got caught in was, oh crap, well, we're not huge. And it's like, of course not, we're just starting. Why would we be that big? But at the time it was like, how do we become that big? How do we get there? How do we get here? And it's like, that was never the right perspective to have about that journey. The right perspective to have about that journey was, cool, what do we want to do in life? And then how do we move forward with where we want to be? And it was also, how do we actually just improve to be better than what we are currently today? And that's it. And if you look at even a lot of the major large companies, a lot of how they're built is off just continual improvement at a rapid pace, right? They're trying to find that 15-minute window in every area as much as possible. And they're able to leverage the amount of manpower they have. They're able to leverage their resources and things like that to get greater outputs. However, it's still that principle of 15 minutes. It's still the principle of 15 minutes, 15 minutes better, 15 minutes better, and you beat the rest of the world. 15 minutes better. And if you took your life, if you took your personal life and improved one area at a time and did a couple boxes better than what you're currently doing, whether it's eating, whether it's your finances and your health, whether it's your plan and vision for life, whether it's your relationships, if you took those 5 pillars, right? Health, relationships, finance, work, property, if you took those 5 pillars and did 15 minutes better in each one of those, your life would radically change. And I'm saying this because oftentimes we will get caught up in it's impossible. We'll get caught up in it's too hard. We'll get caught up in, wow, I don't know if I could ever do that. When in reality, it's, okay, let me set my alarm 15 minutes early to leave 15 minutes early. That's it. 15 minutes early to leave 15 minutes early. And so all that being said is you can do 15 minutes. 15 minutes is not an impossible task. And if you keep adding 15 minutes everywhere, that 15 minutes adds up to a lot. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today, and I'll catch you later. Peace.